Hello, everybody. This is Wise Exotics. I'm your host, Trevor, and welcome to the end of August of 2025 of the video vlog series. We do have some bad news to go over. One of the Veitchii, which was Bata Bata Lawi location, I've had since 2022, died. I originally picked that up from Cloud Forest, Florida. They haven't had any of those in a long while, so I don't see getting a new one. That one was seed grown. It was doing fine for a few years. It's handled heat waves. I don't know. Now, interesting enough, when I came home, if you see like the growth tip here, right on this one was completely black going all the way down, and I snipped it thinking maybe the growth tip was bad. I've done that before on some plants, and then it's pushed new growth and it was fine. This was all the way down to the roots, so there's nothing I could do. Weird info that I found when I pulled it out. So I pulled it out of the pot to check the roots. Unlike most of these other Veitchii, which make big clusters that go down, this thing had only spread sideways only along the moss. It had never tried to go deeper. So I don't know if that's in combination of possibly an issue or the reason it had some problems, but that's just what it did. I don't have any other Bata Lawi to compare with. I know a couple people do, and most people don't unpot theirs and check that as often, so we're all kind of like, we don't know what occurred here. Some other bad news, which is irritating me. I had decided to try a different neem oil. I was trying to reuse the bottle I had because the spray bottles are like at $11.99, and this refill from a different brand was like $9.99. So it was like, I saved $2, so I filled it in. It didn't smell like neem oil. That's should have been my first indicator. Shouldn't have sprayed it, but it had kind of like a citrusy smell. Do not use that if you smell that. Neem oil has a very distinct smell, so it was like neem mixed with citrus, so I'm not sure what they did. But right after I got a bunch of these, like the burned leaves coming back healthy, I sprayed it on a few plants because I do it as a preventative because I've had slugs and some other stuff, and neem and coffee water seem to keep them away. So I was using bonide. I'm only going to right now recommend to use the bonide. So I sprayed it on some plants and it literally burned. It's called a leaf burn. You can see it on this one too. I had to trim Crimson Candy, which is looks similar to like Candy Dreams kind of with the bloody drip coming down. Quite a few people really like Crimson Candy. I'm very mad that that's the one that got the worst of it reaction wise, so I had to trim off a bunch of leaves. I'm not sure if maybe that spray was in combination with the Bata Lawi, but I never sprayed that one because I didn't get a chance to. It was just a little bottle and I was testing, so I did a quick spritz, like I left the curtain and just went psst, and it's this type of a bonide bottle. So it was like this, and this is insecticidal, so this stuff safe too from bonide. You go psst. It just was a quick, test thing, and then I was using it on the roses outside. The roses had no issue, so if I do get that brand again, I'll make a note of it and take a picture saying avoid this for Nepenthes, fine for roses and other stuff. But carnivorous plants seem to not like it. I mean, even taffy, which usually doesn't react, is getting burned on that leaf, which I hadn't had an issue prior. Because I had stopped doing the fertilizer foliar spray, and it's just been clean water and that one spritz, so that's the only thing I can see. Another weird bad news, I know I'm just going back here with blows. It's not really bad news, but it was kind of disturbing, so I found a hole that some slugs and spiders were getting through, so I plugged that up over on that side. But under this Veitchii, which is very pretty, mind you, this is a K2 X Candy Stripe X Candy. There's plenty of these out in the wild, majority of the ones that you'll find. So I had lifted the pot up and I'd looked under it, and there were these little crystal beads. I was like, what the heck is this? So I pulled them out because I didn't know what they were, and I stuck them in a paper towel, wrapped them up, and I went to researching. They are a type of slug's eggs. Basically, a slug crawled in here, laid eggs, and was going to let them ravish all my plants. So that ticked me off. So those are tossed and thrown away. So never seen slug eggs before, so that was interesting. I did move all these pots up. I took everything out to check. I have not found any others. So it was literally just that one plant. Of course, it's a really pretty red stripy Veitchii they wanted to go for. Now, in some good news, though I'm not sure if this is a confirmation or just something Drew heard. I was on the live with Drew, and he had told me, because I was talking to Clearwater Carnivores James about the 4096, because he was asking me. I said I have one. If I have a basil, I'll let y'all know in the future. My first basil is going to my friend Bailey, though. I promised him that. Anyway, Drew had said, "Oh, hey Trevor, supposedly that one is a male, BE4096." Now, there are two 4096, which is what really confuses the issue, because people only think there's only one in that Grex. There is BE4096 Candy Striped Veitchii Barrio, and there is BE4096 Pink Candy Veitchii Barrio. I have Pink Candy, so if it is true, I wouldn't really be surprised at this point, because Candy Striped, which is in Japan and some other collections, has flowered as a male. I am aware of that gendering. The other brother, which is well known, I'm pretty sure it's another brother, because if you put Pink Candy, Candy Stripe, and Gold Rush, which is the one that Rob has, all next to each other, they look so similar. And I'm pretty sure he bought them from the same Malaysian nursery. Gold Rush is another male, so it is more likely to be a male, but it is nice to know if it is confirmed now to be a male. Then my plan is to breed Pink Candy with K3 over there, and then we can get some seriously fun Veitchii going. K3 is one of the original Ks from Exotica Plant that was sold to Mike Fallen, aka Highland Tropicals. I have one of her cuttings. I believe there are like 3 or 4 of her cuttings around, because he chopped her up and sold them up on the eBay. I got mine from Gem State Carnivores. Now, I did get a couple of cool things from Gem State. One is in the tank, which is a little Veitchii, and the other is this cool little ping. So she'll rotate. It is now in with my Argente, which is making beautiful little traps on the windowsill. This is a really fun Veitchii. I'm not sure. I can see some of the white, like right there. It's still keeping some of the variegated little blobs. It's not as progressive as like my tri-variegated, but then there's some Veitchii that were not doing well, like this one. But that was an older leaf after the spray. This one I had to cut because they were getting these kind of, sorry, I'm rotating this down. This one I had to cut the tip and it's already pushing out, but I was getting these stunted growths. That's a stress leaf. It's due to heat. Same with this one. It's getting way too hot, and you can see that on this little Leonardoi. Now, the Leo's been totally pushing back fine. Right now, we're supposedly going back to the cold weather. Now, interesting enough, you see that little trot there? That is my red Alba Marigonata, which also gets red leaves for whatever reason. Yeah, I've had that one for a while, huh, Hummer? That little Alba Marigonata is from Hawaii. It was from the same guy who I got my one little streak variegated Gracilis for $60, and that one ended up being cut up and going to several other collections because some other people wanted it for experimenting, so I went, sure, whatever. So that one got cut out. Now, Minima X Candy Dreams is doing really well. It's Basil, which is going to Zombie Carnivores, or Bill, doing fine. One of the red variegated I moved out of the cabinet seems to be quite happy right here. It's got a nice little bucket trap. Semudira, this larger one is available. Oh, and I would say from prior, the 411 that I had up here did go out. It's already at its owner's home, doing fine. It's all bagged up, and hopefully will continue to do well. I just see that this sensor is hitting one of my sundews. Yes, I did bring out one of the sundews from the cabinet, so I'm hoping it will do well out here and not get too crazy, because this is the sundew that was in with my Lingulata from California Carnivores. Sometimes you get a cool little hitchhiker. In a good way, you get a free plant. It's like a $15, maybe $12 plant, maybe $10, but it's just a cool little free thing you get with it. Let's go down here. So I'm trying to hit all the nails on the head today. This one was a little upset, but you can see the new leaf is perfectly fine. Honestly, Peter D'Amato, Brixiana doesn't care. Beautiful Sib trap hiding here. That is Minimix Candy Dream, Ceratensis, no, not Ceratensis, Sumatrana, blah. As you can see, the basil on this is variegated still. I'm very happy to see that. I was pretty sure it would be, but that is the Viking X Buck Miracle F2, number 2 that I had. So it's actually got a second basil growth that, actually there might be another one on this side I see, just like pushing out. Crazy. I thought I killed that one, so I'm so glad it came back. KXK from EP, doing fine. That weird see-through leaf one I moved down here just to see how it would do. Samudira, beautiful little trap. Took me like 8 months to get that sucker back in stable. But all the other Veitchii are doing okay that I can see. I went like in panic mode and started looking through everything. All the moss is a little dry right now. I need to water again. But Eddie's doing fine. I don't know if that's a little leaf or it's stretching because Eddie's tend to, and like Veloce and Macro tend to make a small leaf and then it elongates out like a week later, which always messes me up. Palinensis seems actually really happy right in that corner, so I'm just going to leave it there. Raja X Peltata has a trap off way in the back there. So does Palinensis. They're both can drive me nuts. Berbichier is actually making the trap way in the back. Pink Candy is this massive little sucker in the middle. I'm just gonna call him he for now. Has a bunch of traps active. He is just crazy right now. Taffy made a trap in the corner facing the kitchen. Yeah, Hummer likes Taffy. Oh, Hummer. The clips kind of went explosive with another large leaf, so I'm not sure if Taffy and the leaf are fighting. I need to move them. This is my KXM from Mike Fallen. I'm not sure if it's K1XM2, which I'm pretty sure it is. It's striped. But man, this one is very sensitive, and it gets to about that size every year, and it freaks out, and then it goes back down. So this is not like the first time this has happened with this one. Ooh, new little trap. Nice flare on that one. That is one of the this one right here. Card 207. I'm pretty sure it was, but I always have to check. My other card 207 is always red. That's right over there. No, where'd it go? So that's a card 207. That's a card 207. This one's getting a flare then. It's interesting. That is the one I was thinking of. That's the one that gets more redder leaves, and then next to it is its sibling. Raja. So there's the two card 207s. That's the same type of trap shape the other one had, so that one might get Cobra's flare. I'm a little hopeful. I do like Cobra a lot, as plenty of you know. Raja's doing quite well. It's got a trap there. It's also got one on the floor. Hose Mountain Expario. Eventually that one's going to go to Bailey because I'm not in love with it, but he really wanted one of that cross, so it's really nice. My Akazukin is fighting itself, it looks like. Akazukin Expario. Seagrown Akazukin Expario, but this is from a seagrown plant, but it's a basil. This is the orangey one with a nice flare. It's really neat. This one is actually really impressive. Look at that, beautiful. Let's see if I can get it. It has so many like fading in stripes. I'm really excited for that one. It only had a bit of the damage from that neem oil, so it actually was a little more robust. So is this A. It did burn the underside of that leaf, but the rest of I had sprayed these leaves straight on and they didn't freak out. So this A, which looks like its mother, kind of like an enhanced version because it does get speckles and these little waves on the wing, is doing fine. I think it's making a trap over here. It's trying to, or thinking about it. I'm not sure if it's aborting. I'm not sure. It has little bumps in the stem. Now, I've heard people tell me that might be a flower. So if it is, cool. That would be my first Veitchii flower in general for Nepenthes. But I'm thinking it's probably one of those fake out flowers like Taffy started to do that. And then it wasn't a flower. It was just a huge growth spurt it was going through. It was kind of like a transition phase because we know it's going from fall to winter kind of thing now. So that's my hope. We don't get any more heat waves. There's a really nice... where did it go? Here it's hiding. There we go. KX Pink Candy Cane. I have a lot of little pink Veitchii just hiding around. Now, this one is really nice. So this is the basil that's growing from the sibling of that pink one with crazy stripes. So it's another K2X Candy Stripe X Candy, bred by Mike Fallen. These two were specifically sold from Mike as seeds to Premia Exotics, and then Premia Exotics sold them to Samantha, who sold them to me. So I can track most of my plants' lineage points, who had what. The 4021 was a little pissy with that too, as you saw. New leaf is very happy, very vigorous. But look at all the basils it's got going down there. It's got like 6 little basils, at least 3 larger ones pushing out. So that is my seed-grown 4021 that's pink with pink stripes and kind of like inner overlay stripes. But so if you ever have a chance to go on Instagram, check out Black Ridges. He's got one that's almost identical coloration in the parasome as me, but his gets taller. Mine gets wider flare. So ours are kind of like opposites in the flare dimension. One went tall, one went wide. So it's really neat to see how they'll develop side by side. So we're keeping track of those. I know somebody had asked me about pings, so I had sent out a ping with the 411 as a bonus. So there's one of the little purple flowers of the pings I typically send out. They're the ones that get that purple coloration on the leaf too, so I think they're neat. They're a cross of the same exact cross, and I don't know pings offhand. Or else I would say it. There's another pink Veitchii. That's striped one. That's another K2X Candy Stripe X Candy. That's Nelson's candy. That's basically what I call it, is Nelson's candy. Maraudix candy stripes, nice little pink tone here. I'm hopeful this one will get better. The mature plant of this one is actually on eBay right now, and it gets more yellow with a very stout body and a short but nice flare, almost like a heart shape. So we'll see how that goes. Some Veitchii are really interesting. So like this one, which is 411, this one does not lose its pink. It's been months since, that even its older trap is still lightly pink. Now, like Jeff Wong keeps its pink for a while, so maybe it's another one like that where it just keeps that coloration. Some will make their leaves go out lengthwise. Some will actually curve around the pot like that. Drives me nuts. This is Big M. This is the M that's from Mike's Little Oasis. They're all doing pretty good. So let's go head over to the tank. I said I was going to go into the tank, but I want to show off the Anthuriums. Some of these are really pretty. I moved these out from the cabinet in the back. Really like this one. This is the last leaf. This is hugely long leaf. And it's shiny, crystally, and bubbly all over. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty. Quite a few of these plants are just hiding little leaves here and there. They also move to the light spectrum, so they'll shift around. The other Viking X, Globosa Viking, whatever you want to call it, X, Black Miracle F2 is up here, the red one that Polo likes. I moved it back over here so Polo can look at her plant. There's a bunch of basils on the belly X Aristolochoides. The other ones over here have plant A and B back together, and they're super glue. I might honestly sell super glue. There's nothing wrong with it, but it seems to like it a lot warmer, so I have to keep it up here, and it's made traps, and then it gets too hot up here too at the same time because of the heat wave. So it's a larger plant. I know that everybody will ask me, do you have a large, fully established plant that I could get? Well, there you go. So anybody curious into that one, it is a seed grown, so it's not one of the clone ones. This is one of the original sets of Lowi X Veitchii X Boschiana, X Veitchii X Maxima, X Veitchii X Platykyla. It's from 2021. Gosh, that thing grew pretty big quick, actually, think about it. This is the original Nepenthes that I first did the experiment of glue grafting, so it's like down here where it had snapped off on its growth tip, so I glued the growth tip back, and obviously it's doing fine. It's grown a foot up, so take that as you will. It is available. There's also all these little hidden pings everywhere. Pings are good, so if you don't have pings and you have shady spots in your pot, I would highly suggest to put a ping there. You can always divide them and send them out later. I think they're nice little bonus gifts. So now we'll go to the tank. Okay, no lies this time. We're now in the tank, everyone. MX Cobra is doing really well. The Ritz X Barrio, I only have a few of these left. My friend is supposed to send me a chunk of his because he's only keeping the good ones for his own growth. He only has so much room, so he's going to send me a good chunk of those. So I'll be able to compare his to mine and see what's going on with those. Ceratensis has a huge basil erupting out of the side, so I might top it so the basil can keep growing. So if anybody wants a seed-grown Ceratensis, which is an endangered species for lowland, this one is specifically grown in highland, so in warmer temperatures it will go crazy. It's a lot like some of the other ones where it's, here you can see one of its traps, it's red, squat, And then as it gets taller, it gets longer. It's like that other one I can't ever remember. They say it's very phallic looking, very long and phallic shaped. Here, like an example. So it's more like that shape, and then like a little lid on top. Lengthwise, it's very stout. Anywho, so that's available. So it's a Nepenthes suratensis. The Marood Veitchii, which a pure Marood is very hard to find lately. I haven't seen those. I got these from import, and they're doing quite well. They bounce back first, so yeah. This one seems squat. This one seems stout, but then this one just made a trap off to the side that no stripes yet, but looks good. The Raja, again, as I said, this one is really weird. I get that black coloring on and off. I actually took out one of the traps and I was comparing it to it, and it was literally so this is like a day later. I was trying to see if it like died out or anything. So as an example, you can see it even had like black veins in the trap, black sections in the trap. So I'm not sure if that's variegation, sickness, or what, but again, none of my others are doing it. It's very bizarre, and having quite a few people scratch their head, because here you go. You can even see on that trap, there's like partially covered, and that's the healthy new trap down there. It's not like it spreads, but it just darkens up on little black spots on the leaves. So my hypothesis is an iron thing, but if that was true, this Veitchii, or not Veitchii, Raja would also be showing it. You can see one little basil poking out here. This one, the basil's already gone and went, so the only basil I currently have is on this one. The seed-grown Kinabalu is actually making some traps, so I'm really excited to see how those start to look. Interesting news. So, Giaflong X Akazukin X Barrio, it is, I'm pretty sure that one, has stripes, verified. I pulled it out and I was checking it. There's really intense stripes on it already, so I'm excited. Same thing on the M1X M3. Very crazy stripe intensity. A lot of stripes, but they're not very bright. This one also gets stripes, so nice to see. This is Candy X Veitchii Barrio, striped. Barrio striped. Orange X Candy Dreams. Look at this one. It is pink. It is reddish pink with nice stripes already showing. The other two that I had, one is right there, and then one is there. I'm pretty sure that one's not going to grow. That's a stunt or a runt, whatever you want to call it. The other one's doing fine. Kind of seems green so far. The other Akazukin X Barrio cross with Giaflong is doing fine. I moved the import plants a bit, and they seem to like more light, so I was waiting for them to stabilize from import. So these are Candy X Candy right here, and then these are MXM Homemade, and I know some other people were asking because Mike's Little Oasis had sold some. These are the MXM2 that Mike had. These are, now you can actually get all these from the same person. Luca, Nepenthes grower, he does imports, but Mike Little Oasis has these, and he grew these here, these two in the US anyway, so it was just easier to pick them up off of Mike. This one's really nice. Big Mama X Pink Candy King, Clone 13. That was crossed with Akazukin X Barrio. My friend Booty has the best one of this cross. What I don't understand, so like one of mine is like kind of like that size, and that's already out of the tank. And the rest of mine are super slow growing, which are these three. His is already the size of like my Veitchii A and Taffy, and it's red and intense striping. It's beautiful. I have no idea what he's feeding that thing because it grew like a bloody weed. Some of them are just crazy vigorous. So there is the one from Gem State Carnivore. So this one is called P.E. Fairchild. Now I had some people asking questions about this one when he was sharing it, and he's had a few on the site. So this is a cross between the Premium Exotics P.E. Female, I believe another 3734, but it's another Veitchii no matter what. Cross with Tom's Carnivores 3734. It's like one of the main Veitchii. Everybody, I was like, wow, that looks super familiar when I looked at the trap. The female clip is doing fine. She's getting jumps, Singulana, Mollis, Epiphydiata, Aristolochoides, Undulatifolia, Diabolica, AW1. AW4 does seem to be pushing through very slowly, but she has pushed 2 new growths. I have yet to see roots yet, but It took this macro almost 2 years to get to this spot. So she's just hit the reset button and it might be well. Though she might have a basil. If there is a basil, I've already promised that to my friend Adrian because he really, really, really wants that AW4 and we might work a trade out or something. He's also holding some plants for me too, and he's the one who I also have to split these with. So these are the Asian striped cross, that's what I call it, but it's Asian striped or Veitchii striped X Candy Dreams. Some of these are already red and getting traps. Their first trap is red, and I mean it's redder than these two starting. So I'm impressed. GW X Candy Dreams. There's only a few left in each pot. This is the largest from my pot, and it seems to be the stable one. And the largest from my friend Tater seems to be stable. So I'm going to say we're down to like 4 or 5 in each pot, basically. And I took the largest out of mine to get it acclimated to here. That's the one that I'm going to keep more than likely, just because I want to have a vigorous plant. I'm pretty sure it's a GW thing, because comparing it to its siblings, GW, or these two, GWX, AB, Akazuki X Barrio, Car 750, it is extreme. These are very slow. The M's are growing faster than them. I've had 2 to 3 leaves on some of these M's, as you can see. This one's been growing pretty quick. That's 1 leaf, and that was in June when I picked it up. So here we're in August. 1 leaf in 3 months on both of these is pretty slow, and I know my friend Jeremy was saying the same thing about his. So we got that. Now this is another one people were asking about, Car 735. Car 735, yeah, tongue twister there. Car 735 is Veitchii Bata X Candy Giant, who is now deceased. She's dead. We can never get her. They didn't clone her, to my understanding. There is no more clones. So only her offspring from this cross are the ones available. Drew only sold 15 out of 20. So I have one of those 15. Very squat. It's already getting stripes, but man, look at the coloration. Let's see if I can hit zoom on my phone without failing. Look at it's getting nice wing speckles already, so I'm really excited. Trap, the size ratio is actually really tiny compared to like this one, the leaf. It's bigger than the leaf. Huh. You can actually see the price I paid for the GW. The GF Wong X Candy Dreams. There. Not GF Wong. GF Wong X Akazuki X Barrio. There was the price tag behind it. I think both of them have it, actually. Yeah, 120. So yeah, I paid 120 for each of those. It wasn't a bad deal for, there was only 5 available. I got 2 of the 5, so neato. The Rod X Candy Red seems to be doing okay. New leaf looks better. It was getting a little pissy over there, so I was trying to get it to a more distant light. This one's already got 2 basils. This is the KX, this is Thai X Variegated K, and it has had little white variegated spots. I'm really hopeful. Attenberga is photobombing on Diabolic W1, but it's doing okay. So overall, I got a spot here because I have another Veitchii coming in. No one is surprised. It is a 4033. I'm finally got a 4033. I had one from Adrian that we had traded for, but that one was a rescue and it didn't survive. My other 3734 is in the back cabinet. It's already yellow and squat, so I'm excited to see how this new plant does. I might have to pull that ping out. It's getting a little overkill in that pot. So, anybody want a ping? Like, I don't know, 10 bucks? I got quite a few here. Anywho, that seems to be it, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please, hit me up. Wise Exotic.